Have you ever engaged in a serious debate over which is better, Harry Potter or Lord of the Rings? Have you ever played Smash or Pass using only characters from Star Wars and Marvel movies? If you answered yes to any of these questions, we have the podcast for you. Listen to The Steam Gentlemen, the podcast where an expert panel convenes to ask the questions about pop culture and social commentary that other podcasts are afraid to ask. Listen to The Steam Gentlemen on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Ladies and gentlemen, Wrestling Fans International Association is back. That's right, the premier fan club association of the 1970s and 1980s has been revived and is back in business. Join today. It's free at thewfia.org. That's thewfia.org. You can also join us on Facebook at facebook.com/groups/WFIA 1969. Welcome back, everybody, to the 1987 Supermod. I am your host, as always, Brad Drake, and tonight we continue on with the WWF all month for the month of June, and the WWF is on its live event circuit, and this time we are hitting Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Yeah, here we go, everybody. This one is a regular house show. Ooh. So there's no sense for a broadcaster. So we'll go ahead and save that one. Let's take a look at our absent workers. It's nothing but what we expect for who to be out. And we're taking a look here at our backstage incidents. And Scott Casey and Rick Rude might have some problems here. And these two have been working around the circuit due to the fact they're familiar with one another from World Class. And Scott Casey pulled a mean-spirited rib. Well, I got news for you. Scott Casey was a pretty tough dude, but had he pulled something like this on Rick Rude would have knocked that ass out. Because Rick Rude was one of the hardest men in pro wrestling. So we are going to find Scott Casey, and Scott Casey now hates us. That's the first time I've ever gotten that in this game. I've gotten simmering tension before, but never have I gotten hatred. So we're doing pretty good. All right, everybody, let's take a look at our card for this evening. We are going to have in our opener Terry Gibbs against Brad Rheingans. The Shadows are going to face the Young Stallions. Jose Estrada is going to mix it up with newcomer, the Ultimate Warrior. Hillbilly Jim and King Kong Bundy will revitalize their little feud here from WrestleMania 3. George, the Animal Steele, will face the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, in singles action. Demolition is going to battle the British Bulldogs in tag team action. Bobby Heenan, everybody. Bobby Heenan is climbing into the ring against Ken Patera. And if you'll notice, we adjusted the times for these matches. The main event has had 5 minutes added onto it. This match has had 5 minutes retracted. Tito Santana, who is close to forming Strike Force with Rick Martel, will face Paul Orndorff in singles action. Brutus, the Barber Beefcake, is going to challenge the Honky Tonk Man for the Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship, everybody. And in our main event, the Killer Bees, Jumpin' Jim Brunzell, and B. Brian Blair will face the Hart Foundation, Jim, the Anvil Neidhart, and Bret Hitman Hart, managed by none other than the Mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart. They are the World Tag Team Champions, everybody. We got one hell of a card lined up for us tonight, everybody. Pay attention to those asterisks, because those are the matches that were added to this card that were not on the real card. All right, everybody, you know what time it is. I know what time it is. Let's get to booking. Here we go with that opener. And we have Estrada versus Rheingans. Spelled Rheingans' name wrong, of course. And of course, Jose Estrada, one heck of a hand. Still very serviceable at this point. He's only a month or two away from forming Los Conquistadores with Jose Luis Rivera. So here we go. Here is Jose Estrada, and here is our man, Brad Rheingans. Brad Rheingans, bad dude. He's got a little bit of experience here in Canada, but more west in Manitoba and not quite in Ontario. So Brad Rheingans is going to get the win here, everybody. And up next here we have the Shadows against the Young Stallions. Jose Luis Rivera, of course, is a member of the Shadows with Randy Colley. Colley would be gone from the WWF in just a couple months here, and Rivera would take his place with Estrada as Los Conquistadores, or Los Conquistadors, however it's pronounced. I'm working on my pronunciation, my Spanish accent. I hope it's okay. All right, here we go. The Young Stallions right below me here, right in front of my face, and I didn't see it. Okay, we're going to have Jimmy Powers get the win for his team here, and the Young Stallions get the win here in Toronto. And I have screwed up. The opener should have been Terry Gibbs. Let's make that adjustment. I get excited, everybody. Can't help myself. All right, here's Terry Gibbs. Terry Gibbs is in there. This one's all still set. All right, up next, we have Estrada in there against the Ultimate Warrior. And this is strategic, everybody, because Jose Estrada could make a magic marker look good. Broomstick, most times people say. I like magic marker. All right. And the Ultimate Warrior needs all the help he can get because, to quote CM Punk, Ultimate Warrior is very hurty. He will hurt people in that ring. All right, Warrior with the win here. And the man who's come up from Texas here continues his winning ways. Hillbilly Jim against King Kong Bundy. They are going to go 10. And here we go. Hillbilly Jim versus Bundy. Hillbilly Jim is a huge fan favorite at this time, everybody. I realize, again, I've said it before, he's become kind of a joke now. But back then, not too many people were laughing at him because Hillbilly Jim was a big dude who was over with the crowd. King Kong Bundy is going to get the win here, everybody. And of course, it's going to come by help with his manager, Bobby the Brain Heenan. We have lots, well, not lots, but we have quite a few. Well, yeah, we have quite a few instances here where the Heenan family is represented on this card. George, the Animal Steele, is in there next against Ted DiBiase, the $1 Million Man. So here is Steele versus DiBiase. And of course, Ted DiBiase is going to go over here. Here is George Steele. Here is Ted DiBiase. We do not need to have DiBiase cheat. That one's a square win for DiBiase. All right, Demolition and the British Bulldogs are going to go at it here, everybody. And how much time do they got here? They have 12 minutes. Why don't we change this up and give these two 16? Because this is going to be a good match. Demolition is pretty much like the #1 contenders here. But then again, the British Bulldogs are the former World Tag Team Champions, so could go either way. All right, we're going to auto-name this one, and we're going to leave this one open-ended. Let's see what the AI does, who they have win. All right, Bobby Heenan and Kenny Patera here. They're going to go 9 minutes. The fans would be very excited to see Patera finally get his hands on Bobby Heenan. Bobby Heenan had a bad neck at this point in time. He did not get it fixed till years later when he was in WCW. So he was very limited with what he could do in the ring, but he still did take some sick bumps. All right, Kenny Patera gets the win. I remember him specifically doing the Ray Stevens bump at this time. The same move that Ric Flair would do in the corner. Kenny Patera, of course, is going to get the win. Next, we have Tito Santana and Paul Orndorff. And they are going to go, what is the time on these two? 12. Santana versus Orndorff. Here is Tito Santana. Here is Paul Orndorff. We're also going to leave this one open-ended. No, we're going to give Orndorff the win. Orndorff needs the win here. He's going to get it by tainted win. Orndorff needs the W. Orndorff, I think, would turn babyface in just a few months here. And that would lead to him being on Hogan's team for the Survivor Series, which was excellent. And here we go. We have drawn a blank, everybody. I am drawing a blank. Beefcake versus Honky Tonk Man. All right, so here is Brutus Beefcake. Here is the Honky Tonk Man. And Honky is going to get the win here, everybody. No, Honky is not going to get the win. Brutus Beefcake is going to get the win. He's going to get the win by countout. Honky did not win much on house shows. He won on TV, but not on house shows. The payoff, people wanted to see Honky get beat, and the WWF gave it to him. All right, up next here we have the Killer Bees and the Harts, and they're going to go 30 minutes here in our main event, and both these teams can handle 30 minutes, no problem. Hart Foundation are the World Tag Team Champions, of course. And we are going to give the Toronto fans a little bit of a screw job, but they're going to be cool with it. This one's going to go to a draw. We are going to have a double DQ. This one's definitely going to be an epic. Both these teams have the experience and the know-how to make this happen. And here we go. We got our usual time here. We're at about 2.5 hours here. Perfect. Let's see how this one does, everybody. We're going to go ahead and start the show. All right, Gibbs versus Rheingans, 42. Rheingans gets the win with that bridging cradle suplex. Rheingans, of course, had a name in Winnipeg, but not so much in Toronto. All right, the Shadows against the Young Stallions here. The Young Stallions get the win with that high double drop kick that they had. 53-55 for the Stallions. Not bad at all. 54 overall. Notice how we don't have red text of doom anymore of them not being known. That's a good thing. All right, Ultimate Warrior gets the win over Estrada here with a big splash. We do have red text of doom here. It's going to take a little while to build up the Ultimate Warrior's popularity, but we're making a good effort of it. Up next here, Hillbilly Jim and King Kong Bundy. They only get a 65, 68, and a 71. Double green here. Green equals money. And King Kong Bundy gets the win over Hillbilly Jim due to the efforts of that dastardly manager, Bobby the Brain Heenan. George Steele outscores Ted DiBiase here. DiBiase gets the win with $1 Million Dream, 71 and 69. Gets us a 74 overall. And this one, everybody, is due to the fact that Ted DiBiase just does not have that much popularity in Canada yet. That will change. All right, up next, we have Demolition versus the British Bulldogs. We get an outstanding 90 score here, and the Bulldogs get the win clean over Demolition. Good stuff. 90 overall, lots of green. And for those of you that would say, he's cheating! They were not again the time score! What's he doing? It's horrible! Don't watch his shows! I hate life! These two teams were excellent, and they would have gotten a 90 in the quality of match on a house show. No doubt about it. 10.1 will be slightly more realistic because Dynamite Kid's ailments are showing. Again, we're dealing with 1987 Dynamite Kid here. We're not dealing with 1984 or 1985 Dynamite Kid anymore. Dynamite Kid's beat up. He is a rundown old 27 years old here or whatever he was. He was beat up. Unfortunately, he would get even worse as time goes on. Don't get me wrong. The guy was still outstanding at this point, but he was not the Dynamite Kid that we once saw. All right, so 90 for this match. Good stuff. Bobby Heenan and Ken Patera, 57 and a 63 gets us a 64 overall. This feud gets heat, and Patera wins with that Patera hug. All right, Santana and Orndorff. Ooh, Orndorff is just brutal in this save. Only a 56? No way. Orndorff had higher popularity in Toronto. No way. 76.56 gets us a 72. We'll have to take it, I guess. All right, here we go. Brutus, Beefcake, and the Honky Tonk Man. And the Barber gets the win here over Honky Tonk Man with, by countout, 80 overall. Good match for these two. Good showing, good stuff. Honky Tonk Man definitely did not get his hair cut here. Definitely. Up next, the Killer Bees and the Hart Foundation only get an 88. That's a little bit surprising. B. Brian Blair brought them down. It's got to be due to popularity in Canada. Lots of green. Green equals money. 88 is disappointing, though, for these two teams in Toronto. What are you going to do? Bonus city here, too. So it's got to be the popularity of B. Brian Blair. It's the only thing I can come up with. All right, I'm sure we're not going to get a gain here on this one, but overall, good card. Hey, we did get a gain. 86 for the card, and we get an increase overall. I want to point out for this one, we got to give Ted DiBiase some credit. He needs it. And we're going to point out X and Smash. X and Smash were clutch here. Ted DiBiase, good performance. Great performance for Demolition. DiBiase is pleased, X is pleased, and Smash is pleased. And we, everybody, are heading back to our planning page here. And of course, I am pleased at that one. We have a TV taping up next, and I can't remember which one it is. It might be the Z channel. The Z channel might be our next taping here. All right, and that was Klondike Bill they were showing there, everybody. Klondike Bill, of course, has been brought to prominence and fame with Tony Schiavone's weekly podcast, What Happened When. Brady Boone is now in the Midwest. Got 130,000 viewers for Wrestling Spotlight. 4.7 million viewers for Superstars of Wrestling. Spotlight, of course, got way better ratings than that, but it is a B show, and that's what we're dealing with here in the game. So let's see what's coming up here next. It is Z's channel. So we're going to be in Los Angeles, everybody, and we'll get that card ready. Let's take a quick look around, see if anything catches our eye. Tim Horner over Bill Irwin in the main event of World Championship Wrestling. This show is brutal. Brutal. Ugh. See if anything else catches our eye. Nothing else really does. So that's going to do it for us, everybody. For those of you that may be new to the channel, please make sure you hit that subscribe button. Drop us a message below. Let us know what you think of the channel. For those of you searching for us on social media, you can find us on Facebook.com/groups/1987 Supermod. You can also find us over on Reddit under the subreddit of TEW 2020 Friends. Also, we are on Discord under 1987 Supermod, everybody. Do you want more? Is this not enough for you? I understand. Check us out, patreon.com/PowerCast Network. And don't forget, everybody, when you go over to patreon.com/PowerCast Network for just $5, you get access to all of our shows early and YouTube ad-free. You will get access to version 10.1 of the Supermod. You will get access to all of our spreadsheets and so much more. Check it out today, everybody. Last but not least, make sure you check out WFIA Wrestling Fans International Association at thewfia.org. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We'll see you next time.